Good afternoon. Welcome to the Anna Maria College Commencement. My name is Andrew Klein. I'm the Vice President for Student Affairs, and it is my pleasure and an honor to serve as Master of Ceremonies for today's event. Please be aware that you are certainly welcome to take pictures of today's ceremony, but we ask you to remain at your seat and please do not come down the aisles to take photographs during the ceremony. There is information on our website for ordering the professional photographs that will be taken of each graduate this afternoon. In keeping with Massachusetts guidelines for commencement ceremonies, we ask that guests stay in their seating area and keep masks on for the duration of the ceremony. Masks may be removed for pictures of individual graduates or graduates with their immediate family only. Thank you for your cooperation with these and all guidelines. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the academic procession and remain standing until after the national anthem and the invocation.
I declare the opening of the 71st commencement exercises at Anna Maria College.
Well, look who's here. Class of 20, I have 3 words for you. Longest spring break ever. And the other 3 words are welcome home, AMCATs. And welcome everyone to our commencement ceremony on the beautiful campus lawn. We ask that you remain standing for the national anthem and the invocation. Today, the national anthem will be performed by Caitlin Marie Sable. Caitlin received her Bachelor of Music in Music Therapy and Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Caitlin was also the recipient of the Bishop Harrington Award at yesterday's ceremony. Our invocation will then be offered by Father David Cotter, campus chaplain.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still
Loving and gracious God, source of all life and wisdom, you who guide us back to yourself throughout the course of our lives, hear our prayers for those who will receive their degrees today from this college, founded and fostered by the Sisters of St. Anne, daughters of Blessed Esther Blondin, Mère Marianne, who from the great trials and adversity she faced in her own life, forged a holiness all the Church has come to recognize. Here, whatever their course of study, these students have learned that your truth is beyond all our minds can attain, and that we must approach our lives with curiosity, imagination, and patience. Keep them curious. Help them to imagine the world not only as it is, but as it might be. Give them the patient strength they will need to persevere in the building of the next stage of their lives. Father in heaven, these, your children, go out into the world at a time marked by greater uncertainty than our societies have known in quite some time. They may well feel a certain wariness about what will come next for them and our world. Give them the comfort and consolation of your abiding presence and the sure conviction that from adversity can come strength we did not know we had. So, loving God, hear our prayer for these your children. Send your Spirit to be with them, to enliven their curious minds, enrich their imaginations, and, by cooperating with your grace, help to build this world into your image. We make this prayer through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Please be seated. It's my pleasure to introduce to you the 11th president of Anna Maria College, Mary Lou Rattel, who will address the graduates and guests.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Vice President Klein. And I echo, it's so good to see the class of 2020 back here, and what a wonderful day it is for you to join us. So good afternoon, and welcome in person to the 71st Anna Maria College commencement exercises, and congratulations, yet a little late, on your commencement. What a great way to celebrate your success with an in-person ceremony and an on-campus celebration. Did you ever think this day would come? I welcome the Sisters of St. Anne, the Anna Maria College Board of Trustees, our Chair, John Spillane, our honorary degree recipient, the faculty and staff of Anna Maria College, special guests, family, and friends of our graduates, and most importantly, the graduates of the class of 2020. Now, I've been listening and reading with interest the commencement addresses from my presidential colleagues at other institutions this year. And as it relates to this past year, they have reflected on how they've been inspired by their students' resilience, the way challenges were faced, and how obstacles were overcome. While I share the same pride, enormously so, especially under your circumstances, I want you to understand as new alumni that Anna Maria's measured and carefully considered responses to this global issue are how we always respond to difficult and changing times. We have a storied past of successes over the years from students, faculty, staff, and alumni who, because of the mission and education embraced and received at Anna Maria, are able to identify, adapt, and respond to ever-changing societal shifts, whether they be health, economic, or environmental challenges. And to bring this home to you, just look what you have faced in the face of the unknown and what you have accomplished. This global pandemic brought you to this point. You figured it out over the year previous to your leaving for spring break with your faculty and your fellow students, and as a result, you sit here today celebrating your degree success in person and with family and friends. The pandemic has placed an important spotlight on what it means to serve the community and what it means to have Anna Maria a part of the solution. Serving the community is the reason the Sisters of St. Anne founded this college 75 years ago. And for decades, we have embraced and upheld three important beliefs upon which our mission was built. And the college over the years has honored many honorary degree individuals who represent these beliefs in our lives. 1. To enlighten the intellect through truth. We embed the principles of ethical leadership in our curriculum that are in evidence by former Boston Police Commissioner and alumnus Bill Evans, whom we celebrate today for his extensive career serving the public good by presenting him with an honorary degree in public administration. 2. To strengthen the will through good, educating the next generation of community-oriented public service professionals like Jared Kozowska, who received an honorary degree yesterday from Anna Maria in communications for using his personal experiences from childhood to create educational opportunities that benefit underprivileged children. And 3, to elevate the heart through love, fostering our compassionate students to serve and make a difference in their worlds. Trustee Sister Rita DeRoy, honorary degree recipient yesterday in business administration, has spent her life dedicated to the service of others as a Sister of St. Anne, as a financial advisor to the province, as an educator, and for her many years of service as a trustee to Anna Maria College. In 75 years, Anna Maria College's mission has never wavered based on these principles. The world beyond this campus needs you. Why? The answer is simple. You are part of something greater. You are part of Anna Maria College and all of whom you serve. While I recognize this past year was like any seen before, you had in your minds and hearts the mission that has defined you, that made you better individuals, that benefited your families and friends, and that will continue to serve the communities that you live in. You were uprooted from your final months at Anna Maria as you ended your college career, but you completed what you came here for, your degree, and you are back today to witness that in person. Those things that challenge us make us stronger, and ultimately, they define us. They make us a part of the mission of Anna Maria. This was a selfless time for so many, and I personally witnessed here at the college. You came to understand what it means to reach out to assure those fearful of the unknown, to engage in conversation, to show compassion and love toward those in need. Others had to be considered, even as you each faced your own dilemmas and difficulties, because that is the Anna Maria way, our calling, what we represent and commit to as we go forth and serve our fellow man. You have heard it time and time again in the course of your years here as a student and now as alumni at Anna Maria. You witnessed it through your faculty and those who coached you, and for the friends you made that helped you evolve into the individual you are now and will show to the world now that you are part of it. I believe that we repay the good fortune in our lives by investing in others who need and deserve it. We as a college incorporate service into everything we do, in our academics, athletics, clubs and organizations, and volunteer efforts. Our focus is always outward. Where can we help? I often tell others that you didn't come to Anna Maria by chance. You chose an institution dedicated to serving the public good. Seize that energy, continue with it, and that spirit will bring you great things as you go forward. Remember that as you face the future and use it to sustain you. I encourage each of you to create your own opportunities, to be infinitely creative, and embrace failure with all your heart because you will learn from it. You are ready. Say yes when challenged, live in the moment, and expect that you will be faced with more change again and again. Yes, you are ready. Ask questions, make decisions early and often, but be empathetic and take the time to walk in another person's shoes. Find what you love and love what you do. You really already are there, and you really are ready. Keep these things in mind, and you will not only change the world, you will find great meaning in doing it. You are AMCATs, and I hope as proud of that as we are of you. My wish is that as alumni, you will return to campus often and share your life story as it continues past this beautiful day. On behalf of all of us and those that make up the Anna Maria College community, I wish you much happiness and great fulfillment in your lives. Thank you for joining us again here today to celebrate your commencement.
Would our student speaker please come to the stage? It's a true pleasure to introduce to you our class of 2020 student speaker today, Alexis Phillips. Alexis is a music education major who will be entering her second year of teaching at Leicester High School and will begin pursuing her master's in music education at Gordon College this fall. Alexis will deliver the student address to her fellow alumni.
President Rattel, Chair Spillane, Sisters of St. Anne, distinguished members of the Board of Trustees, Vice President Holmes and Klein, honored guests, staff, faculty, proud parents, family, guests, and fellow graduates, good afternoon, and thank you for coming, and congratulations to the graduates again. I was looking up funny quotes to break the ice for graduation speeches, and I thought this reigns true since we have been graduated for about a year. Bill Watterson says, "So what's it like in the real world?" Well, the food's better, but beyond that, I don't recommend it. And as an adult living in the real world who makes dinner every night, I can honestly say I miss someone cooking for me. My name is Alexis Phillips, and I'm a proud 2020 Anna Maria College graduate. While attending this institution, I was a student government president, vice president of the Music Education Club, treasurer of the Program and Activities Council, and most importantly, a student musician. I earned my bachelor's in music and music education, and I currently have my dream job at Leicester High School, proudly teaching band, chorus, general music, piano, and guitar, all in my first year. And what a crazy year it has been to begin a career. And I'm sure all my fellow graduates can concur. As I reflected on the past year, it brought me to an analogy of a maple tree. And I'm sure you're wondering, why a maple tree? Well, first off, our founding Sisters of St. Anne, Sister Mary Ann Blondin, was Canadian, and the maple was always my favorite group as an orientation leader during the summer. More importantly, the maple tree symbolizes strength, intelligence, and transformation. A maple tree's strength is based on its roots and its trunk. We all started back in 2016 with different roots, all stemming from various regions of the country, some of us even different regions of the world. Regardless of where our roots were planted, we all chose to begin our journeys into adulthood at Anna Maria. We grew together to form a strong, stable trunk, which we knew would support us in our challenges to come. We all took the same AMC 100 classes, the same requirements that were needed if we needed to graduate, but of course, as we all invested many hours into our programs, activities, sports, we all began to branch out. The different branches are where you can find our intelligence in the tree. Some branches are fragile, some are long, short, but no matter what the branch looks like, it is a crucial piece of the tree that grows on the trunk for a reason. We all branched off into our own majors, own career paths, and now our own journeys. However, no matter how far our branches bring us, we know we will always be a part of the same experience, the same trunk. Of course, we know that every fall, the foliage blesses the trees around us to signify the end of the season, and the leaves will soon be falling on the cold ground. In the springtime, these leaves will sprout again and enter a new form of transformation. Each one of your paths represents a new leaf. We all have forgone transformations in our lives that can sometimes be beneficial, exciting, or even scary. These times are no match for the strong maple. Our power of perseverance and the ability to transform with different obstacles will always see us through. In the 4 years at Anna Maria, I was never given a manual or a class on how to deal with a national pandemic while being a successful student, teacher, partner, or adult. We all had to transform to find ways to deal with the chaos that surrounded us, all while trying to continue our studies as normal. But because of Anna Maria, the trunk of our tree, our strength, we were able to transform and overcome the past to continue to grow with what is given to us, even if it means starting over and remembering where we came from. This is all true for you, fellow graduates. We are the growing tree that will continue to transform our world into something beautiful, something more extraordinary than we already have had. To end this speech, I'd like to give a powerful quote by the late, great Ella Fitzgerald. "It isn't where you came from, it's where you're going that counts." Class of 2020, go off and continue to transform your world into something greater. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexis. I now invite David Traynor, current trustee to the college, who will present our honorary degree recipient and today's commencement speaker.
Thank you, Drew. Good afternoon. It is my honor and privilege today to present honorary degree recipient William B. Evans. Commissioner Evans has had an extensive career dedicated to protecting and serving the public. Joining the Boston Police Department in 1982 as a patrol officer, Bill was soon awarded the Boston Police's Medal of Honor for his role in an armed robbery case. In the following years, he scored at the top of his class after receiving the highest grades on the sergeant, lieutenant, and captain's exams. As a captain, Bill oversaw the Allston-Brighton section of Boston, the Boston Police Department's most densely populated area, where he facilitated cooperation between the nearby universities and the police department. In 2009, Bill was promoted to superintendent, where he managed the Bureau of Field Services and oversaw the peaceful handling of the Occupy Boston 70-day protest in the financial district. In 2013, immediately after running the Boston Marathon, he played a critical role in the Boston Police's response to the Boston Marathon bombings, where he helped implement a plan of action and assisted in the capture of the suspect in Watertown. Months later, former Mayor Thomas Menino named Bill as the interim police commissioner, and in 2014, he was appointed as police commissioner by Mayor Martin J. Walsh. After serving 4 years as commissioner, Mr. Evans ended his career with the Boston Police and accepted the position of Executive Director of Public Safety and Chief of Police for Boston College, continuing his work in serving the public. A graduate of Suffolk University, Bill holds a master's degree in criminal justice from Anna Maria. He is also a graduate of the FBI's National Academy, the FBI's National Executive Institute, the Department of Homeland Security Post-Naval Executive Leaders Program, and received several certificates from the Kennedy School of Government at Harvard University in subjects ranging from Homeland Security to preparedness leadership. He's an accomplished marathon runner and can be found running the streets of South Boston and beyond before the sun rises each and every day. His greatest accomplishment, however, is his wonderful family that he and his terrific wife, Terry, have built. Terry is with us today, and we're very, very grateful that she could join us. Their 3 kids are a tribute to them both, and without a doubt, Terry is truly a living saint. So thank you, Terry. It is my great honor and distinct privilege to present my good friend and colleague, Bill Evans, for the degree of Doctor of Public Administration, honoris causa.
By the authority vested in me through the Board of Trustees as president of Anna Maria College, and duly empowered by the authority of the state of Massachusetts, I do hereby confer upon you, William B. Evans, the degree of Doctor of Public Administration, honoris causa.
Thank you, Madam President, and David Trainer for that nice introduction. And belated congratulations to the class of 2020. I can't believe I had to wait a whole year to be a doctor. I was supposed to get it last year. I can't believe I didn't get it a whole year. So, but honestly, welcome. And again, you know, you're in a profession that's near and dear to my heart. You know, I grew up. My oldest brother was one of my bosses. He went on to be the police commissioner. I had two older brothers who were chiefs on the fire department. You know, growing up in South Boston, I said to someone earlier, you didn't strive to be a doctor or an economist, or you just wanted to be in public safety. And when I was a young kid, you know, I lost my mom when I was just an infant. I don't have one memory of my mother. God bless her. My father had to raise 6 boys, all under the age of 11. And, you know, he was quite a character. No one could talk to his boys. My aunts used to come down the street, and he used to have us all lie on the floor, play dead, because he didn't want them lecturing us how to bring up his kids. But he did a good job, believe me. And unfortunately, when I was 9, I lost my closest brother, hit by a hit-and-run vehicle in South Boston. And then my father, God bless his soul, he died when I was 14. So I basically was on my own. Since I was 14, I was raised by my brothers. And knock on wood, thank God for Social Security, because that's what I lived on, his Social Security check. But, you know, I was very fortunate that a local priest, and I was a Gate of Heaven boy, a Catholic school boy, stepped into my life and came to my brothers during the busing crisis and said they were worried about which direction I was going. Because South Boston, you either went one way or you went the other way. And so he got me into St. Sebastian's. And I always look back and I said, I didn't have the grades to get in there, and I didn't have the money, but he gave me an opportunity of a lifetime. And that's always shaped who I was as a person, because as I policed in my 38 years, when I seen young kids on the street, I seen myself out there. And that's the way I felt all young kids should be treating. And as you all go forward, you know, I hope you get the opportunity to help a young inner city kid, because if someone didn't step into my life and give me the opportunity, I don't know where I'd be. And you heard David talk about, you know, me buckling down on the books. You know, I developed that skill at St. Sebastian's, and I was able to ace all my promotional exams, and I went up through the ranks. And, you know, I loved the captain job. I was in Austin Brighton dealing with college issues, and then I was down Lower Fenway, Lower Roxbury, dealing with a lot of other issues. At that point, promoted to superintendent by then Commissioner Davis, and then I was in charge of, you know, 2,200 uniformed officers, and a lot of challenges there. Obviously dealing with the day-to-day crime, but, you know, Occupy was probably my original big challenge, dealing 70 days with a lot of young kids who were pretty legitimate protesters who were complaining about the high cost of, you know, of everything. And so I got a good relationship with them. I used to visit them almost 4 times a day, and we exchanged telephone numbers. So, you know, a lot of countries and cities had problems with that movement, but I never did. And I built some great relationships to the point I was writing recommendations for some of those kids to get into graduate school. And, you know, it's all about building spirit and building community, and that's something I've always firmly believed in. As superintendent, the next big challenge, as David said, was the marathon bombing. You know, I love to run. I've done 57 marathons. I'm up every day. This morning I was out at 4:45. That's what works for me. That's my mental health every day. But on marathon day, you know, I went out to Hopkins and ran that race. And I did it, I think, 3:34, and my wife and my young son were at the finish line. I was fortunate enough to finish in time, get them home safely, and then I got word that the bombs went off, and I had to get back in. And for the next 5 days, I probably slept about 10 hours. I was flat out. We had to bring President Obama into town with Michelle, do a presidential visit, and then we had the massive shootout in Watertown. You know, I was out there for almost 19 hours when we got word that one of the individuals might be in the boat. And I got that word of mouth, and we quickly went down there, and I literally was the first one on that boat. I could look at the heat sail, and I could see the brother poking through the boat. And at that point, I took command of that whole final scene. You know, we threw flashbangs in the boat, we threw smoke grenades, and finally working with the FBI hostage recovery team, we were able to bring that individual out. But real hectic scene, but that was probably always the biggest challenge of my career. Shortly after that, Commissioner Davis left, and I became the 41st police commissioner in Boston. You know, something I never really strived for, but everything fell into place. I used to look at my brother when he was police commissioner, my brother Paul, and say, who in their right mind would want that job? But I ended up getting that job. And I remember people saying, what was the hardest part? And I said, well, going to find suits, because I was in uniform for 36 years, and there's nothing better than being able to wear the same thing every day. So that was a new challenge for me, getting all dolled up every day. I always said I was the eye candy of the department. All the people did the work, believe it or not. But the biggest challenge that still bothers me, believe it or not, when I was the police commissioner, was the senseless violence on the streets. You know, Boston's a relatively safe city, but I used to go, if we had 58 homicides in our city, which is about what we have, I was probably at 50 of those homicides. You know, I was out 1, 2, 3, and nothing broke my heart more than to see a young inner city kid bleeding out on the streets of our city. I've always been a big advocate of trying to limit the amount of guns in our city and in our country. You know, I got to go to the U.S. Capitol and talk on this whole very issue, but it really broke my heart to see that so much. And so, you know, I did that job for 5 years. And, you know, I won't say it took its toll, but I was up probably every 2 hours dealing with different issues. And, you know, when the time came, you know, I remember having a conversation with my wife when, you know, Boston College came available. And I said, Terry, what do you think? And she was very good, very supportive. She said, you do what you want. I know you love that job. But at the same time, it was the right move. In all the years, I know you're going into public safety, fire sciences, nurse. It's very demanding. We've seen what happened over the last 14 months. When everyone else was staying home, we were the ones that had to go to work every day. It's a very demanding, sometimes selfless profession. But everybody relies on us. And it was a big move for me leaving, but I landed at a great spot. I love Boston College. You know, it's less stressful. I sleep a lot better at night. I say the only lousy thing about it is I used to get out of everything. Now my wife has me going to apple picking and everything else. It's like, I used to say, oh, I got a shooting, I got to go here, I got to go there. Now I got to go to everything possible, which is terrible. But my point being, at Boston College, I have approximately 15,000 students, and it's an awesome responsibility, and I take it real serious. You know, when I talk to parents coming in at orientation, I say, you know, I'm going to make sure your child has a great education here, and they're going to come back home, you know, in May, the way they came in. And so, you know, I've had a great career. I'm actually almost in my 41st year in law enforcement. It's a great profession. I know right now it's having its troubles, but you know what? If it's not for the first responders out there, I don't know how we would keep society safe and the health care and everything else. So let me leave you with a few parting words of advice. Number one, obviously, is you know, take good care of yourself. I run. That's my stress release. I remember after the Boston Marathon bombings, we all seen some terrible things. I seen those young families, those young kids, Martin, Richard, lying on the streets. And I remember my wife saying, you have to go talk to someone. What you did and what you've seen wasn't natural. And I fought her for about a week to the point that I finally went and talked to someone. And so don't be afraid in your profession, because we see a lot of things, we deal with a lot of tragedy, to see a mental health coordinator if you have to see it. You know, it's a hard thing. It was a hard thing convincing my fellow officers to do that, but it was probably the best thing I ever did. Another thing, stay in school. I know you graduated last year. Get back into it. You know, I go to the FBI Academy. I take every opportunity. I'm at BC right now, believe it or not, getting my cybersecurity master's. I'm more than halfway through it. Don't ever think you're too young to learn. I love it. And then, again, never forget where you came from. I was an inner city kid who really didn't have a whole lot, grew up on the second floor of a triple-decker, who slept in a bed with two of his brothers, and never in my wildest dream would I ever think I'd be where I am. The only thing I regret, honestly, is I wish my father was still alive, because he tried his hardest to bring up 6 boys, and I think he'd be pretty proud that two of his sons turned out to be police commissioners and 2 turned out to be fire chiefs. But that being said, I look at everybody here. These are all your family. They got you here today. Don't forget them, because no matter how busy you are, the family is the most important thing you've got out there. It really is. I look, and I always say to my kids, don't forget your mom more than anything. I don't care if they put me in a nursing home. I don't care what they do. But your mom is the most important thing. It really is. And so I just want to wish you all the best. I know you've been gone a year. Hopefully you all have pretty good jobs. But it's been an honor for me to be in this profession for 41 years. And I wish you all the best as you go forward. And again, congratulations to the class of 2020. Good luck, all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Evans. And it was well worth the year wait. Thank you. Would the Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Chris Holmes, please present Anna Maria College's class of 2020.
Thank you, President Rattel. Would the class of 2020 please rise? President Rattel, I present to you the class of 2020, the members who are here today. They have satisfactorily fulfilled all of the requirements of the 2020 catalog, and they have received the faculty recommendations for the appropriate degrees.
Thank you, Dr. Holmes. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of Anna Maria College and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees as president of Anna Maria College, and duly empowered by the authority of the state of Massachusetts, I do confirm your certificates of advanced graduate studies and master's and bachelor's degrees with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereunto, and in witness thereof, present you with this diploma.
Please be seated. Will the marshals please direct the class of 2020 to come forward? In addition to their hoods, students who graduated with Latin honors will also have an honor cord bestowed upon them. Students who have a cumulative grade point average of between 3.5 and 3.69 will graduate cum laude or with praise. Students who have achieved a cumulative GPA between 3.7 and 3.89 will graduate magna cum laude with great praise. And finally, students who have achieved a GPA of 3.9 or better will graduate summa cum laude with highest praise. Students wearing colored cords are members of academic honor societies, and the color of the cords designate the specific honor society to which they have been elected. Certificate of Advanced Graduate Study in Education. Kara Elizabeth Laughlin. Master of Business Administration, Deborah Joseph. Master of Education, Johanna C. Burke. Master of Public Administration, Dustin Adam Dommel. Nicholas E. Koalis. Jessica L. Mignol. Josiah Morissette. Jarmiel Ortiz. Master of Science in Criminal Justice, Kelly J. Austin. Ashley Gamache. Nathan Riendo. Tammy E. Warner. Master of Social Work, Brendan P. Fitzpatrick. Marielle Rose Joseph. Camila Rodriguez Pinheiro. We have our Bachelor of Arts, Matthew Braz, magna cum laude. Melanie Jelaine Chavez. Caitlin Magner, summa cum laude. Selena Evelyn Stacy, summa cum laude. Our Bachelor of Music, Alexis Tracy Phillips, cum laude. Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice, Philip David Antonici IV, magna cum laude. Vincent Carmine Oliva. Jacob Smith, magna cum laude. Bachelor of Science in Fire Science, Elizabeth Marie Eldridge, cum laude. Haley M. Morin, cum laude. Bachelor of Science in Health and Community Services, Samantha Lynn Zanetti. Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Jessica Lynn Barbera, magna cum laude. Madison Brazier. Brittany Ann Decker. Lorena Taya de Oliveira, magna cum laude. Liana Marie Frazier. Gertrude W. Camus. Kayla Ann Keogh. Elizabeth May Rondeau. Serena Torres in nursing. In a Bachelor of Science in Sport Management, Anthony Peter Oliva Jr. Will the graduates please stand? Now, I know you've done this before, but you're all set now to move your tassels, please, to the left. And ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2020. Welcome back.
Please be seated. The description and recipients of the awards that were presented virtually last year will be read. The Bishop Timothy J. Harrington Award, established in 1988, is bestowed upon a graduating senior judged by a committee of faculty, staff, students, and administration of the college to have demonstrated compassionate service in the promotion of peace and justice. Last year, the selection committee was faced with a difficult task, having been provided with many nominations for well-deserving recipients. The recipient of the award had been described by a nominator as someone who's motivated to help those vulnerable populations that many shy away from. She not only worked directly with victims of domestic violence, but she's also worked with the National Association of Social Workers to push for legislation for funds to help these victims. She was an active member and leader of the Anna Maria College Social Action Group, and during the early days of the spring pandemic, she was the first on her classroom discussion board to send messages of support to her classmates. I'm proud to announce that the 2020 recipient of the Bishop Timothy J. Harrington Award was Monica Frew. The Sister Yvette Belrose Award, presented annually to the graduating student who has embodied the values and commitment to the Anna Maria College mission as exhibited by Sister Yvette Belrose. These values include a commitment to the Catholic faith, serving those most vulnerable and providing access to a better life through education, and encouraging all individuals to play an active role in shaping their own future. The recipient truly embodies all the values held by Sister Yvette. This student was a positive force on campus, always greeting students with a smile and an offer to help, including in her roles as a resident assistant, a tutor, a member and officer of student organizations. She was very active in campus ministry, including as a volunteer at Camp Sunshine, and spent one summer helping those in need at the Inclusion Support and Special Needs Program in the community center in her hometown. Proud to announce the 2020 recipient of the Sister Yvette Belrose Award was Melanie Gomez. And the Dr. Bernadette Medora Award for Academic Excellence was bestowed upon the graduating senior who, as a full-time student, earned the highest cumulative grade point average and a minimum of 90 semester hours at Anna Maria. The award is established by the faculty and staff of the college to commemorate Dr. Bernadette Medora's 25 years of distinguished service as Dean of the college. The 2020 recipient was on Dean's List every semester, had studied abroad, and successfully completed a major in graphic arts with a minor in education, with a cumulative GPA of 3.975. Proud to announce the 2020 recipient of the Dr. Bernadette Medora Award, Zoe Triforos. And fittingly, the sun is shining as I want to thank every one of you for participating in today's wonderful ceremony and for making it a very memorable event. The benediction will be given by Father David Cotter. Please stand and remain standing in your seats until the academic procession has exited the tent.
Loving and gracious God, you are the source of the joy in which we have all shared here today. You are the source of the strength which has enabled these your children to persevere through difficult days so as to attain their goals. Bless their future days with success, love, and happiness. Bless the families who have supported them thus far through the nurture and models they have provided. Bless the faculty, administrators, and staff who have so skillfully shepherded Anna Maria through this last difficult year. Continue to bless this college and the educational community gathered here so that this work, the fruit of the labors of the Sisters of St. Anne, daughters of your beloved Blessed Mère Marianne, might flourish not only in this 75th year of its founding, but far into the future. We make this prayer through Christ our Lord. Amen.
I now declare the 71st commencement exercises concluded.